the idea that he did something that was significant. And the military, you know, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have any, this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
That was President Biden's very false claim about no U.S. troops dying overseas during his time in office, disregarding the 13 service members killed in Afghanistan during the chaotic withdrawal. Biden's omission causing a lot of anguish for families of the fallen, and that includes Marine Staff Sergeant Darren Taylor Hoover and his family. He was killed along with 12 others by a suicide bombing at the airport in Kabul. And joining us now is his mother, Gold Star mom Kelly Barnett. Kelly, thank you and welcome. And we've spoken over the years, and I can't imagine how incredibly difficult that was for your family to hear the president say that.
Yeah, thank you, Sandra, for letting me have a voice. Yeah, it's disgusting. But it doesn't shock me. It goes to how we've been treated. You know, we're going on 3 years now. This is just falling in line to the way that we've been treated the whole time. So it's not shocking, and it is disgusting.
Mark Schmitz, whose son, Marine Corporal Jared Schmitz, was among the fallen 13 in Kabul, said, quote, "My phone blew up for probably 20 minutes after that came through, after President Biden's words, and everybody was just in utter shock." He said, "And my poor kids were in the next room. Let's just say I ultimately ended up having to apologize to them for my language. It took all self-restraint not to put my fist right through my TV." You know, it is important that we say their names and we put their pictures up as we are right now, Kelly, and remember our heroes like your son who died that day. And we did want to give you a voice because there are some, like my colleague Kayleigh McEnany, who suggested while a lot happened on that debate stage, perhaps that was the worst moment of all.
Yeah, it was. I was, like I said, I was not shocked. I was angry. I believe in my soul. I mean, President Biden is gone. He can't remember what he had for breakfast. I do believe that he was told to say that they want him out. So, you know, I believe that it was a setup, and, you know, however, you know, far gone or however you want to feel sorry for him, it's still disgusting.
You know, I mean, there has been so many moments that have stopped Gold Star families like yours. Remember this moment at the State of the Union when Steve Nakui stood up and interrupted the president, which he was ultimately forgiven for? Let's listen.
America is safer today than when I took office. The year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up. The biggest increase in history.
He was then escorted out, and Americans everywhere are saying, "Let that father speak." He was shouting, "Remember Abby Gate, United States Marines, 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines." As Americans, we remember, and we do say their names. I finally wanted to ask you, because it was the first time I had heard this story, that there was also the moment of the dignified transfer, where Biden made headlines and his photo was taken checking his watch, August 29th, 2021. And I know that this was just a horrific moment for your family, and particularly your daughter.
It was hard. I witnessed him check his watch 3 times. I finally told my daughter, because she was getting so upset, I'm like, just don't look at him anymore. Stop looking at him. So, you know, she was getting more and more frustrated. And so finally, you know, the last service member came out, and they drove away, and Biden was just standing out there, and she did scream at him. She couldn't hold it in anymore. She meant every word that she said to him, and it goes to show you the frustration. There's no words to explain how much disrespect we have gotten, how disrespected we feel. And I think this was the only thing that she could do to make herself feel better, is to lash out at him. And I know that he was quoted saying that you know, what did I do wrong? You know, I don't know what I did wrong, but, you know, he knows what he did wrong. The whole Biden administration knows what they did wrong, what they continue to do to our families. And again, disgusting.
I have a last question for you, as I do want to note that you've told our team that President Trump did reach out to you immediately. I know you've told us that in the past. He spoke with you and your family directly after the Afghanistan withdrawal and the loss of your son. You've also spoken to him over the years, Bedminster Mar-a-Lago, and you've grown quite a relationship with him. On the Biden administration, to this day, they have never reached out other than a form letter 6 to 8 months later. Is that correct?
That's correct. We haven't heard a word. 7 of the families of the 13, we have started a coalition, and we've begged. We've sent letters and emails. Please, talk to us. We want to talk to you. It's been refused. No word whatsoever. But Trump, yes, he called. He talked to my whole family, not just me, not just Taylor's dad. He talked to my daughters. He talked to my son-in-laws. He talked to all of us. And again, yes, we went to Mar-a-Lago. We went to Bedminster and spent 4 wonderful hours. We went to a rally this last weekend and spent some time with them. He cares about my son. He cares about our military.
Yeah. And finally, you say you actually want Biden to stay in the race because you want him to answer for everything that happened under his watch, including the death of your son. Final thought to you.
Yes. He needs to stay in. I don't think they're going to let him in some way, shape, or form. But he needs to stay in. He needs to answer. The whole Biden administration needs to answer for what they've done. And I just hope that they continue and let him stay in and let Trump just slide right through.
Well, we remember him, and we've been putting his picture up on the screen. Such a handsome boy, and no parent can imagine what you've been through. There's Darren Hoover there pictured, and we remember him today and always. Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you, Sandra.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.